So I'm a big fan of gadgets and things that generally make your life easier, because then we can spend less time faffing and more time riding. So here are my 8 favourite accessories of all time. One of my favourite accessories is quite a Gucci little gadget, but it is a portable bike washer. So you can get a couple that maybe hold water already in a tank, and they can be plugged into 12-volt sockets and cigarette lighters in your car to be powered. But there are also some out there that are battery powered, which means you won't risk draining your car battery if you've got a couple of bikes to be done. And something like the Works Hydro Shot can actually have a hose put into a bucket, or it can even go into a lake or a river, because it has a filter so it can draw water from anywhere, and you don't need to be by the car to do that. Of course, these can be quite expensive, so if you don't have the budget for it, there's nothing wrong with a bucket and a brush. Maybe get yourself a folding bucket as well. I absolutely love proper waterproof garments. Now, I've got a couple of varieties. I've got something that is 28,000 millimeters waterproof, which means it's incredibly waterproof, proper waterproof for storms and really rainy days. It will be very warm as well. I've also got a 10,000 millimeter waterproof jacket, because even though it's less waterproof, it will often be more breathable and it will be more packable as well. And these are not as waterproof as the proper rain jackets, but they will be great in showers and light weather. And then something like a DWR coating on trousers is really great, like our GMBN pants, because even though it's not raining today, I will still wear these because they will keep mud rolling off my legs and keep me nice and clean. I absolutely love a changing robe as well, because, well, I have a car, and if you can't get changed inside your vehicle in a van or anything like that, then you can have a little bit of privacy with one of these. Now, there are some really expensive ones on the market that cost a couple of £100, and they're waterproof and insulated, and that's great, but I've got something that is more of a mid-budget version, which, to be honest, if you're on a real budget, you could make this out of 2 towels sewed together with a hole for the neck. Bonus tip for you as well on this one is there are some purpose-built kit bags out there that you can step into and take all your clothes off onto, which is great when your clothes are really mucky and wet. But if you're on a budget, well, I've got an IKEA bag that I use, and this works just as well. I absolutely love a mid-size rucksack, because this can double as a way to carry all of my spares and my sandwiches for a long day. But if I need more than just a bottle on my bike, then I can also add a hydration pack to this. Now, we're really lucky to be supported by Camelback on this channel, but something that is definitely sporty, preferably a cycling specific bag, will make sure that it's light and breathable, and also that it has a couple of straps to go around the body and stop it rotating as you're moving around on the bike. Bonus tip for you here is to get something that has loads of pockets. As you can see, that you can always find something to put in them. I also like ones that have straps on the outside as well, because that means you can have additional coats if you take them off and just hide them somewhere. This one's even got a phone case on the front, which I really like because I like to take photos. And if you find yourself riding out in the middle of nowhere a lot, then do check out any bladders that can have filtration devices attached to them, because that means you can source your water wherever you find it. Now, having a computer that displays heart rate and power and speed and all that sort of stuff was great when I used to race cross country, and I do implore you to look into that sort of thing if you are racing cross country. However, these days I absolutely love a bike computer for the map devices that it gives you. So on this Garmin 850, I've got full-on OS maps here, which means I can go out and explore and make sure that I can navigate my way back. bike. It also connects with trail forks, which means I can turn up to places like this and see the local trails without actually doing any research beforehand to find them. Also, I can link this directly to Komoot, which means that I can plot rides of my own and take in certain sites and then send it straight to device. Sometimes I do this on my phone and send it straight to the device and it's there in seconds. It's absolutely invaluable for that sort of navigation and I absolutely love it. They say once you've found the perfect bib shorts, you should buy 10 of them. And I completely agree, because once I found the bib short that worked for me, it was game changing. It gives you comfort on a ride, durability, and it'll withstand any wet and soggy conditions as well. Now, I tend to use strapped bibs when it comes to cross country for a nice snug fit, but when it comes to enduro and long days in the saddle in the middle of nowhere, I go for strapless bibs just so that I can have comfort breaks along the way. The benefit of some high-end strapped bibs is that you can actually get ones with pockets in the back, which is great if you ride baggies or if you don't have many pockets on the clothing that you have, or maybe no storage on your bike. Also, do bear in mind that if you have a silicone allergy, most will have silicone grippers around the legs, but there are some out there that don't have that, so that would be best to seek out for you. Tubeless tyre plugs are absolutely revolutionary. Now, if you're tubeless, you've got to get some of these, because the idea that you can fix a puncture without taking a tyre off the rim or even taking a wheel out of the bike is just brilliant. Whoever invented these are a genius. And now keep an eye out for those multi-tools that do actually have the prongs that you need just to save a bit of space in your backpack. But also get yourself a couple of different sizes. So you might find that you have different sized holes that require different tyre plugs. So I always get a thick one and a thin one. And if you're worried about this not lasting or getting pulled out on the trail, then get yourself some vulcanized glue, because you can glue these in and they'll be a little bit more permanent. That should last for the rest of the tyre's life. A tyre pressure gauge is one of my favourite gadgets of all time, and that's because pretty much every pump reads air pressure differently, whether it's a track pump or different hand pumps, but a tyre pressure gauge will always read consistently. And that's important because tyre pressure affects your grip, your traction, your comfort, and it also affects your suspension. So get yourself one of these and make sure that it's a consistent ride every time. And they're light enough and small enough to fit in your backpack too. Well, there you go, my 8 favourite accessories of all time. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Have you got any alternatives, or maybe any budget alternatives to the things that I've showed you today? If you do, let me know down in the comments below and help out that future GMBN Tech community. Let's go.